Upholding our Constitution.
Defending our faith. There was an organization that was a few miles from my campus, and what I learned very quickly about CAIR was that its role was to protect American Muslims and the rights of American Muslims, and that it was so important in these recent years with everything that we've seen that the community had someone that they could call.
I was really excited to hear about an organization that stood up for the rights of Muslims.
First time I heard about CAIR, I was in Minnesota State University, Moorhead, and I saw them actually on the news.
I was in law school in Michigan, and that's when I became interested in civil rights issues.
My second year of law school, Zara, who is the executive director at CAIR SFBA, came and did a lunchtime speaker event with one of my criminal law professors. I'm involved with CAIR because I'm passionate about civil rights, and CAIR is passionate about civil rights, and it's an organization that reaches out to the community and gets involved at that level.
You know, as Americans, our rights are at stake. The protection of our rights is at stake. And so I think it's no longer an option not to be involved.
We're not just in our masjids, and we're not just in our schools and our jobs and our careers and our families, but we're part of America, and we're going to be part of America for a very long time.
What makes CAIR so unique is that it's so personally involved in our day-to-day life. It's at community events on the weekends, it's at Juma prayers on Fridays, it's with you when you're fighting court battles.
We have our ear to the ground in the Muslim community in the United States. These are Muslim people who are working in conjunction with the Muslim community. We took a survey recently, earlier this year, to find out from the Muslim community what they thought we should be prioritizing.
We should not be holding this center at a different standard than other places of worship, which brings concern of elements of Islamophobia.
America was founded on bringing unity and peace together from people from all over the world and for all purposes and walks of life. And CAIR today is fighting that fight, not only for Muslims, but also for all Americans.
When a community member feels like their rights are being violated and they feel like they don't really have a voice, they can come to us, and we will gladly and passionately speak out on their behalf and make sure that their constitutional rights are being protected and are being voiced and are being concerned to the people.
If we can manage to get these issues right, if we can manage to make sure that all Americans are protected, even in a climate and an atmosphere in which people feel fear.
You have the right to exercise, to practice your religion in this country, and the Constitution gives you that right.
And so CAIR's role in protecting our faith is maintaining that freedom. It's not allowing government officials or private enterprise to narrow that right that we have.
CAIR's work protects the rights of Muslim women to wear headscarves if they choose to, of children to pray at school, of our mosques to continue to build inside their communities.
The South Valley Islamic community started their quest to build a mosque here 6 years ago, and according to the Planning Commission, they've passed all of those tests. Which is why many Muslims believe there's another reason they're not wanted.
One of CAIR's, tenets, I would say, is speaking out for the little guy, protecting minorities' rights in American society, and that's a fundamental part of Islam and part of our Sunnah.
This year, CAIR has distributed to thousands of people voter guides that educate the Muslim community about ballot initiatives and also about information on their elected officials.
The Muslim Youth Leadership Program is an event organized by CAIR, and it's for youth to go to our state capital and experience a mock legislature, to understand what steps they can make to bring change in their community. The statement is, you give a man a fish he can eat for a night, you teach a man to fish he can eat for the rest of his life. And that's kind of what CAIR is doing here, and what MYLP is doing for the youth, is that we are kind of like the people who don't know how to fish.
This year, CAIR launched the Muslim Day at the Capitol, where we brought dozens of Muslims from around the state to Sacramento to meet with their elected officials.
If we cannot make it in the state of California, we probably are not going to make it anywhere else in our country. And this first Muslim day at the Capitol may be the start of something bigger.
CAIR works with many ally organizations to fight issues that come up that affect a wider swath of the community than just the people who we represent. For instance, when Pamela Geller, the notorious Islamophobe, placed ads on the San Francisco municipal transit buses, we went to work with a whole coalition of groups to fight back and to make sure that the governmental response was clear and unequivocal condemnation, and we succeeded in getting that.
The Council on American Islamic Relations welcomed Muni's counter ad as a step in the right direction.
A lot of the damage has already been done. We have heard from many community members, both at our organization and at a number of other organizations across the Bay Area, that have said they simply don't feel comfortable boarding the buses that carry these ads.
It's important for elected officials to know what is happening in the Muslim community, what the Muslim community is facing, whether it be if they're facing discrimination or if there are policies that are negatively or positively affecting the Muslim community. They need to know what Muslims are thinking of and what is important to us.
CAIR is there for the community and needs the community to enable it to continue its work.
And so unless the community supports them with their time, with their energy, and of course with their dollars, then we won't see positive change and we won't see the reform that we Muslims want to see in America, and a place where we're going to feel comfortable raising our children.